Imagine this. It's December 18th, 2015. The IT guys at NIC Bank are in full holiday mode, typing their last emails, sneaking in some Facebook scrolling, and already dreaming about Christmas nyamachoma. Then, out of nowhere, an email lands in their inbox. At first, no one really cares, probably another end of year memo. But as soon as one of them opens it, his face changes. His colleagues leans in. Boss, umepata nini? He scrolls and reads again. This time, his voice drops and he whispers, "Guys, we have a problem." Within minutes, the Christmas spirit is dead. An emergency meeting was called. The doors were locked, sealing everyone inside. The email was from a hacker, and he wasn't playing. He was demanding 6.2 million Kenyan shillings, threatening to expose sensitive customer data if NIC Bank didn't pay up. And to make sure no one could trace him, he wanted the money in Bitcoin. A genius indeed. For the IT team, this was a nightmare. But for the hacker, this was just another Tuesday. Now, who was the hacker? NIC Bank's IT team was convinced they were under attack by some high-level Russian cybercriminal, the kind who lives in the dark web and drinks coffee from a Hack the Planet mug. But little did they know, the only international thing about this guy was his VPN. Everything else was purely local. His name was Mutungi Mutuku, a 28-year-old Kenyan known in tech circle as a silent genius. But on the streets, he was just another guy speeding past traffic on his superbike. A hacker by profession, an adrenaline junkie by passion. Born in Machakos in 1989, Alex was the kid teachers will point at and say, "This one will go far." From primary school all the way to Kathiani High School, he was always at the top of his class. And when he bagged an A in KCSE, the University of Nairobi welcomed him into its information technology program, the playground of his dreams. But university wasn't just about academics. It's where he met the man who would change everything. At first glance, Calvin Otieno Ogalo looked like your average guy, neat, calculated, and well-spoken. But behind the clean look was a man with a very colorful past. Calvin had been a police officer in the banking fraud unit, specializing in catching cybercriminals. Ironically, the more hackers he arrested, the more he admired their skills. So when his bosses fired him for cutting deals with hackers, he decided if you can't beat them, join them. Calvin wasn't just interested in hacking. He wanted to run the biggest cybercrime empire in Kenya. But for that to happen, he needed a brilliant tech guy, someone who could write codes like poetry. And that's when destiny brought him to Alex. The year is 2011. Alex had just finished a programming workshop in Nairobi CBD, and as he packed his laptop, a well-dressed man approached him. "Excuse me bro, are you Alex Mutuku?" Alex, who was caught off guard, nodded. "I saw your work during the session. That was impressive." The man extended his hand. "I am Calvin." They exchanged numbers, and a week later, Calvin called Alex with a small job. There was a school system he needed to hack, just a simple marks adjustment for a few students. At first, Alex hesitated, but Calvin reassured him. Nothing serious, just helping some students get what they deserve. Thinking it was just a harmless favor, Alex wrote a quick script and got his job done in minutes. Calvin was impressed. "You are good. You should be doing bigger things." Alex laughed it off. He wasn't interested in breaking the law. But Calvin wasn't done with him yet. "I'll be around. Whenever you are ready for something more, let me know." And just like that, the seed was planted. For the next 2 years, Alex focused on polishing his skills, but curiosity was eating at him. Could he really pull off a real hack? That was the question that lingered in his brain. And in 2013, he decided to test his ability on a major corporation, Nation Media Group. Within hours, he breached their system, proving to himself that he had what it took. But Nation Media wasn't his end goal. He wanted something bigger, something that will make him rich. And on February 24, 2015, Alex made his move. From his apartment along Thika Road, he infiltrated Safaricom's billing system. In just one night, he loaded 3.7 million Kenyan shillings worth of airtime into his prepaid numbers under his control. Then, he resold the airtime at a discount, a business move straight out of a Hollywood scam movie. This was his first taste of real money, and with that, he picked up the phone and called Calvin and said to him, "Boss, I'm ready." Calvin wasn't just hacking solo anymore. He had built an entire cybercrime syndicate called the Fork Bombo Gang. Their specialty was bank heists. Their strategy was working with rogue bank employees who planted malware in banking systems. Their first big target was NIC Bank, and in August 2015, they launched their first attack, infiltrating the system and siphoning 2.8 million Kenyan shillings straight into their accounts. No alarms, no traces, perfect crime. Feeling untouchable, Alex decided to take it one step further, and that's when he sent the December 18th ransom email demanding 6.2 million Kenyan shillings in Bitcoin. One of their biggest hits was Kitui County's system, where they stole millions. With his share of loot, Alex started living like a rich man. But he wasn't reckless, unlike some criminals who would suddenly start driving V8s and throwing money around. Alex was smart. He knew that flashing wealth would attract attention. So when January came, and Kenyans were struggling in January, he quietly went on an East African tour. To avoid suspicion, he went through public transport. After the tour, the gang made their biggest mistake, targeting government institutions. They first hit NTSA, manipulating their system to approve illegal number plates for a fee. Then they went to KRA and installed malware into KRA system, gaining full control. They stole over 4 billion Kenyan shillings, the kind of money that makes the government stop whatever they are doing and hunt you down. The amount was too big to ignore. The government went all in on the investigation. When they failed to trace the gang, they turned to Google for help. But Google refused to share the data, which is why to this day, Alex Mutungi Mutuku walks free due to lack of enough evidence in court.
12 days after that post, he was charged with hacking the Kenya Revenue Authority computer systems, accused together with 6 others of getting away with a sum just shy of 4 billion shillings. This in addition to another pending cybercrime case filed against him.
However, Calvin wasn't so lucky. During a police raid, they found evidence of the KRA hack plus cocaine in his Benz. He swore that the drugs were planted on the car, but the court didn't believe in him. He was sentenced to 7 years in prison for that. So, where is Alex now? No one really knows. But if history has taught us anything, true hackers never retire. Maybe he's watching this video. Maybe he's planning something even bigger. Who knows? Make sure to like, share and subscribe if you enjoy this content.